Yo. Today I'm just gonna be going through how I've processed the vocals for household name. First thing I did, I recorded everything on Logic, and I used the Warm Audio 8000 microphone, which is a condenser mic, which was really good for for this song. Then what I've done is I've basically just gain staged everything first, making sure that making sure that we're not going past like around about 3 to 6 decibels, just to make sure there's no clipping or distortion. As you can see, we're hitting just under 3 dBs. Then basically what I did is I just snapped everything to grid, making sure that everything's on time and it's all good. And then I basically just chopped all of the audio files up, just getting rid of any unwanted breaths or any harsh S's or plosives or anything that's just not needed in the mix. So without further ado, let's get into the first vocal chain, which is my main. So first thing I did is I did some subtractive EQing, which basically just gets rid of any of the unwanted frequencies that we want, because we don't want it to really like mess with any of the plugins later on. So we cut away all of the lows, and at around about 200 to 400 hertz, it's usually pretty muddy around about those points. Then I've used some Maximus. Now Maximus is used for a lot of things, but basically this is basically just a multi-band compressor, and we've squashed some of the lows, we've boosted some of the mids, and then we've cut away the highs as well, and that basically just gave the vocals more oomph. But then we've used an LA2A compressor, and basically this just really it just really brings the vocals to life. This really boosts everything and makes everything sound more nice and crispy, which is the vibe that we're going for. I've got my peak reduction at 45 and I've got my gain at 30, and I'm also using the rap vocal preset, which I felt was just really fit the vibe for what was going on. Then, because we've boosted everything, it can get a little bit harsh. So right after we use the TDSer Plus, which basically just gets rid of, once again, all of those harsh S's and plosives, the things that we really don't want. And then I've got it set at minus 22 dBs, so that's the threshold that it will activate and start cutting away any unwanted sounds. Then we've got our reverb. Now, with the reverb, what we've done is we've cut away the lows all the way up to 475 hertz. Now, this only affects the reverb, not the vocals anyway. So this is just how the reverb is going to react to the vocals. We've got our room size at 15, just because we don't want it too big. Just because it's the main vocals, and we want it kind of dry, just because then all of the wet stuff will like kind of go around it with the backing vocals and everything. And then we've just got our wet level at 9%. But you when you do the reverb, you want to make sure that you have all of the song on and everything, just so that you can compare it side by side in a way. You need something to compare it to. Now, right after, then we've got some saturation. Mia Fat, I've only put it on 5% because Mia Fat can make everything a little bit too wet. But then I've also cut away like in the general mix, so we've only got 30% wet mix, and then we've got 70% dry mix. So it's basically just a dry signal in a way, but it does boost it. It does give the vocals more character. Now, right after, we've used Fresh Air. And basically fresh air, I've just used it to as you can see, boost the mids, and we've boosted the highs, but then it was a little bit too much, so we trimmed away by minus 1 dB, and this is just the outlet level. Then right after, we've got this EQ, which is just an additive EQ. It looks like I've just boosted the highs. As a general rule of thumb, as I said earlier, you just want to, when you first EQ, you just want to take away any of the frequencies that you feel might interact with the song and clash, And then after we've got all of our presets, then that's when we want to boost everything and make sure everything sounds good. So I've just used the top shelf here just to boost the highs. Then right after, I have once again, this is subtractive EQ, but basically this EQ gets rid of any boxiness. So
Puffing the
if I play this,
I'm living in nothing now wrong. Call me Steve, I got a stack of A squared gold, 24 carats in my
that's
piggy
disgusting.
bank. Fresh clothes, fresh juice,
It's very boxy. So you don't want that. So that's basically what that EQ is doing. It's just getting rid of any unwanted boxy sounds, and it just really cleans up the sound. And then basically what this EQ is doing around about 2000 hertz, if you boost it and cut away everything else, it gives the illusion that you're speaking through a telephone. And basically I've just used that for the intro. I ended up automating the mix level and just automating the volume level so that it slowly comes in with the song. I'll quickly give you like a little example. And then we go into our clean vocals, and then last, just to finish off the main vocal chain, I've then side chained the main vocal chain to this one, and all it's doing is I've just side chained it to delay. So basically, and then I've just automated the volume delay knob, so that for any any unoccupied spaces, basically it just puts sound in the void. Basically just makes it makes it feel more whole. Make sure that there's no unnecessary spaces. And yeah, that's basically it.